Welcome back to the OHIO podcast, everybody. Good morning this morning, I should say. We are recording this actually Thursday night, so that's why I actually am awake this for this video, Chris. Last couple morning videos, I've been kind of waking up still. But hey, this is our Ohio State spring game preview, everybody. So pulling the big guns out tonight with Chris. Chris, let me do this for everybody. Let me remind all of you about tomorrow's tailgate.
Huge tailgate. Huge.
Huge,
Giant.
huge tailgate, the Spring Showcase Fan Appreciation Tailgate down at the Horseshoe. We will be in the parking lot just south of the French Fieldhouse by the bike path. You right there. That's where we're going to be at. And it's in conjunction with Second and Seven. So please bring a children's book, slightly used children's book, or a new book, children's book to donate. And if you don't have any, please consider bringing a financial donation for Second and Seven. There will be former Buckeyes, food, prizes, and Chris. I got word today. I know Wargo is going to be there. Ryan can't make it. However, Alan DeGraffenreid is coming in his place. Played for Ohio State in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yep.
I think it was a 10-year NFL vet, if I'm not mistaken. Bounced around the NFL quite a bit. Um, he's going to be there. And when I spoke to him today, he informed me that he's invited 10 former Buckeyes to come. So we
That's
might
awesome.
have a slew of Buckeyes swinging by the tailgate. I think Big Nut he said he's going to try to come as well tomorrow, or excuse me, Saturday, yeah, tomorrow as we watch this to the tailgate. So Big Nut might be there to take some pictures and meet some of you. And it's going to be a great time. And Chris, we've got a lot of giveaways. I'm wearing the new Second and Seven hat. There's going to be some of those there. They have donated a lot of these Second and Seven Tennessee Titan footballs. Mike, Vrabel, head coach of Tennessee when he was there. They donated a bunch of these for the kiddos. They've got some Second and Seven beanies that they donated. Chris, we're going to be throwing some OHIO podcast stuff in for prizes. And so just show up and we'll have a great time. This is our fan appreciation, our way of saying thank you for everything you do for the OHIO podcast and for Second and Seven. And we're going to have a great time. It's a day to celebrate the 2024 National Championship team. We're going to be doing that, talking ball with all of you, taking pictures, having a great time. I can't wait, Chris.
It's like this is one of my one of my favorite events that we do every year. This is what, our third, fourth,
Fourth.
third, fourth. Yeah, this is our fourth. We've had some pretty rough ones weather-wise in the past. It's supposed to start out a little chilly tomorrow morning, but I'll tell you what, it's supposed to get to around what, 54, 55 degrees I saw.
Something like that, yeah. It's about like today was, I think.
So wear the jackets in the morning, you'll be all right. We're gonna cook up a little breakfast, have some donuts and juice out there as well. We're going to have, like you said, all kinds of prizes, some former Buckeyes. And, it is. This is just one of the highlights of the season for me, um, when we get to kind of come in, foreshadow the season a little bit, and kind of get some ideas, speculation, how the listeners think things are going to go.
Yeah. So please, if you're on the fence, please consider coming. $8 a ticket. That's all it is to get into the shoe. I think it's free parking if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Um, and
Unless you go into a garage. I think the garages cost, but I think the land lots are free.
there you go. And and if you are coming, by all means, swing by the tailgate, even if it's just to stop and say hi. We appreciate each and every single person who does so. We want to meet each and every single one of you, and hopefully we'll meet some new friends. Every year it seems like we have some people who come by and we make some new friends as well.
And Eric, I just want to foreshadow on top of what you've already mentioned. I've got a couple of really cool giveaway prizes as well.
Do you
Without
want to?
without giving out, let's just say, um, I've got a very cool autographed item that's going to be given out, and you've seen me wearing a particular couple of jerseys the last couple of weeks. There might be one of those going out as well.
Ooh, okay, beautiful. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you all please consider coming. If you can't make it, the game is actually going to be on the Big Ten Network. The Big Ten Network is who is televising the game at noon on Saturday. All right, Chris, let's get into the game. Since this is a spring game preview, not a tailgate preview, but a game preview, let's talk a little bit about the game. Now, obviously, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to overreact to the spring game. Um, there's been a lot of people who looked really, really good in the spring game who never panned out in a regular season for Ohio State. And then there's been times people have looked really bad in the spring game, and they were absolutely fantastic when the season and the lights turned on. Looking at you, Justin Fields. But here's what I'm interested in, and then we'll start here. Let's start with the quarterbacks. I recorded a video a couple days ago. This quarterback competition is legit. It's for real. And I made this. I said Julian Sain may have started here, and Lincoln Keenholz may have started here in a lot of people's minds. And whether it's been Sain not playing as well and Lincoln playing much better, they're a lot closer than I guess I wanted to admit to start off. So I'm interested to kind of watch these guys with my own eyeballs and kind of see where they're at. A couple things I want to see. I want to watch the velocity on the football, especially when they go deep. Okay. I want to be able to see who can maneuver the pocket better. I want to see who seems to be a little bit more comfortable. And those are the little things I'm looking for because again, you can't glean a whole lot from statistics in a spring game when they're going to be very manila and they're not going to be live. I doubt they're going to let them go at these quarterbacks for real, for real. At least those two, in my opinion. So what on the quarterback front are you going to be looking for, Chris?
I like a lot about what you said there, Eric, and you're right. From what Ryan Day said, the quarterbacks are going to be off limits, so they are not going to go live on the quarterbacks at any point. Um, I think the velocity is a key thing. Also, and again, this is kind of a Ryan Day thing. I want to see who can make the routine passes.
Hmm.
We've seen some spectacular passes made in practice, uh, and we've seen Lincoln make a couple of really spectacular throws in spring practice. But who can make the routine plays routinely?
Yeah,
Who makes it just look like it's normal business, business as usual? But also, for me, I want to see how each quarterback commands the field. Who is stepping up as a leader? Who's commanding the huddle? Um, because I think that's going to tell us a lot about who's going to be the starting quarterback.
agreed. On that front, staying with the offense. Before I move to the offensive line, I want to talk about the receivers next. I don't anticipate JJ going out there and playing a whole lot, if at all. To be honest with you,
Series maybe two.
he's just too valuable to risk it. Um, you know, but yeah, he's gonna be there. I would, in fact, if I'm Ryan Day, I tell JJ just walk around the outside signing autographs for kids. Like just
Yeah.
make the kids
In fact, let
happy.
me get you a cart. We'll have somebody drive you around.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
We don't want to risk a turned ankle.
But I am really interested in watching Brandon Ennis. How does he look? Give me Quincy Porter, the freshman who lost his
Yes.
black stripe already. Why did he lose his black stripe already? I want to see him in action. I want to watch these wide receivers go at it because I want to see where we are in the depth and who's coming up after Carnell Tate and JJ to take the mantle and be the next generation moving forward. That's what I'm wanting to watch in the wide receiver department.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I want to see if Tate's bringing anything different as well. You're not going to see a lot of Tate, just like you're not going to see a lot of JJ, I don't think. Um, but Porter obviously is key. Ennis, I think, is key because I really believe Ennis is our slot guy this year.
Hmm.
Um, But another guy I want to see is Mylan Graham.
Mylan
Is
Graham,
he
yeah,
taking that next step? This is a guy that we know has the speed to take the top off of defense.
yeah. 5-star kid, very quiet in the first year. Didn't get with the team until late in the summer. So
And
yeah,
understandable, between the late arrival and the fact that, let's face it, that was a depth chart that was pretty hard to crack last year.
sure.
And it's going to be the same this year. But it is going to be interesting to see who falls at 3 and 4. Who comes
Hmm.
in as the third and fourth guys? I think we honestly see at least 5 guys getting regular snaps this season.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's not 6. In all
6, yeah.
honesty, running too deep at the wide receiver position pretty well. Because there's a lot of our 4 through 6 guys. There's a lot of teams who would be starting those guys. So, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at that at all. All right, let's
Honestly, if,
talk.
if JJ is the only guy who doesn't come off the field a whole lot, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, we'll see about Carnell Tate too. To
Yeah.
be quite honest with you. All right, let's talk offensive line. It's been a long time since I've been this confident in our offensive line. Going into a spring game, I feel like every spring game we have left saying the biggest problem with this team is the offensive line, and that got squashed last year. That concern was kicked to the curb when they went on the run they went on, despite the injuries that with Simmons going down, and
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin going down, 2 starters, NFL guys who are going to get drafted here in a couple weeks, one who might get drafted in the first round, and they went on to win a national championship regardless. And and out of those guys who finished the season starting and playing on the offensive line, 4 of them are back. So I feel really, really good about this offensive line. I'm excited about the additions that they brought in. I feel like that some of the younger guys are growing into the position and stepping up. And I feel really good about this offensive line. So I want to come away from the spring game going, check, yep, we're good there. The last thing I want to do is you and I sitting back there with a stopwatch again, going, holy crap, we can't
Yeah.
block 4 people again.
Yeah.
It's less than 2 seconds, and those down linemen are destroying our offensive line in less than 2 seconds. That has literally been the story of the spring game for the longest time for you and I going to this thing. I want that to not be the storyline, and that's all I expect from them. Just make the blocks in the passing department, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited for this offensive line for a change as well. Uh, like you said, you mentioned the guys coming back. I think the addition of the 2 tackles was a great addition. I think that we're going to have some young guys who are going to step up and make some plays. Um, what intrigues me most about the offensive line is uh, Carson Hinsman. Is he the leader on that offensive line? I think he is.
I agree.
And next is Austin Severveld,
Yeah, his
the
name has been
the man
mentioned
of a
a
thousand
lot.
positions.
Yeah, he play them all, baby.
I'm really excited to see what he does, and I'm really excited to see this new approach that our offensive coaches are taking, because it sounds to me like they are completely open to a rotation on the offensive line. Maybe not, a lot of rotation, but at least open to some rotation on the offensive line to keep guys fresh, get guys snaps.
Hmm.
And that's something that in the past we didn't see a lot.
I don't know that we could. Huh.
And this year we've got a bunch of Swiss Army knives on that line.
Yeah.
We got guys who are capable of playing multiple positions, and they've really focused the spring on developing that. So I'm really intrigued to see the line.
Yeah, I am as well, and super stoked about that. Let's flip it over to the other side of the ball, right? I think on the defensive line, let's start there. I think we know what we have in Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry. I'm interested to find out how we replace the depth that we had at defensive tackle that's moved on to the NFL. And I'm also incredibly interested to see how CJ Hicks looks as a down lineman.
Yeah. CJ to me, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I know he's going to be in the two deep, obviously, um, as far as our edge guys go. I gotta feel like he's going to be more of a pass rushing specialist out of the gate, though. They haven't said that flat out, but I think that's got to be it. Because this guy is a pin your ears back and rip the guy's head off type of player. Um, I want to see how Logan George does. Very interested to see if he can perform at a high level at this level. Um, but the tackle, the inside of the line, is definitely the spot that I would say scares me the most. I think we've got a talented guy in Edric Houston. Um, not quite the bulk we had out of Tyreek though.
No.
Um, and then you look at a guy like Caden McDonald, who, man, that kid flashed. He
Yeah,
flashed a lot,
he
but
also
can he
dealt
stay
with in
healthy
bingo.
and can he perform on a consistent level? Because right now his career path reminds me a lot of that of Mike Hall Jr. The guy would get in there and be very dominant, make plays when he was in there, but he was not consistently in there.
Correct.
If he plays the way he has flashed and continues to develop, I think our at least our starting four are going to be good. I've got a little more faith right now in our depth at the ends than I do at the interior line positions.
I'm with you.
So I think we're going to have to see a lot of the younger guys in that two deep, maybe even the three deep guys, play a lot in the spring. And I also think they need to play a lot, obviously, in games where we can get a big lead because there's just no substitution for game reps.
Correct.
And that's what these guys need. We need to see if they're able to take it to that next level.
At the linebacker position, we have one commodity that we know of, and that's Sonny Styles. He's a team captain. He's a silver Buckeye, bronze Buckeye, or whatever they call Iron Buckeye
Iron Buckeye.
for the winner. He is a future, I believe, first or second round draft pick in the NFL next year. We know what we have there. Arvell Reese was a lot of people's penciled in replacement here for starter for Cody Simon. However,
Peyton
boy, there's
Pierce
a
is
lot of buzz
phenomenal.
about Peyton Pierce, man. A
Yeah.
lot of buzz.
And,
So
this was Little Animal's boy, too.
it feels
Peyton
that way,
Pierce
doesn't
was
it?
his man. Yeah.
It feels that way. So I'm super excited to kind of watch the Arvell Peyton Pierce battle to see who kind of flashes, and see if they're one of them can kind of take the bull by the horns. Again, I think Arvell's penciled in as the starter just out of experience, but if Peyton Pierce is the man, then Peyton Pierce is the man. So I'm really interested in watching that one.
And correct me if I'm not wrong, Eric. Wasn't Peyton Pierce on the verge of heading to South Bend when Laurinaitis was over there and flipped when Laurinaitis came to Ohio State?
Is
Well, not
that the
necessarily
case? I
flipped,
don't.
but at
I,
least changed
I
direction.
don't really remember that. I thought he was. I don't remember that. I know he's a Texas kid, and I know he came in injured last year,
Yeah.
and he's
But
really battled back from that injury. But he's
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, they are so high on Peyton Pierce, and everything you hear about him from anybody who's watched the spring practices is nothing but glowing. But you know what? A lot of great things are coming out about Arvell as well.
Hmm.
I mean, I think we are going to have an excellent linebacker room. And don't be surprised if there aren't times where we actually see three linebackers in the game.
It's a possibility. I mean, we do have a different defensive coordinator here, and Matt Patricia, who I noticed in his video the other day when he was inviting everybody to come out to the shoe and talking about how excited he was for spring game, had the pencil behind the ear. So
The
he's in
mad
full season
scientist.
mode.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. Um, well, let's finish talking about the players before we hit on the coaches.
All right, boy, oh boy. I'm going to throw the cornerbacks and the safeties all in one conversation here. This is my fear. My fear is
There's too
the
much good.
they're so good that this spring game is going to be kind of boring because the receivers aren't going to get crap done because the quarterbacks are going to be seeing ghosts out there because the defensive backs are just that good. Um, again, if this ends up being a low scoring spring game because of that, the defense wins because they just get too many stops, then instead of panicking about the offense, I think I think we're gonna have to tip our hat to Matt Guerrieri and the goat at cornerbacks coach that this defensive backfield is just the best in the country, man.
Yeah, I don't think there's any denying that. I mean, we have hands down the best safety in the country, the best defensive back in the country in Caleb Downs, without a doubt.
And I don't
Uh,
think he plays. I don't think he's gonna play in the spring
Again, if he
game.
plays anything, it's maybe one series at most.
Yeah,
Uh,
go sign autographs with JJ, big dog.
yeah.
Go make some of that money that apparently you didn't get from
Eh,
a certain media company.
Wow, gonna go down that path. Okay,
Nope, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, go get some of it back, bro.
but yeah, you look at this team and the defensive backs. Obviously, we'll want to see how Jermaine Matthews looks, but I don't know we see a whole lot of him either. Uh,
We might see
but
a
but
lot of him, in all honesty.
I think we got to see Jermaine Matthews. I think we have to see, is Iggy going to be the guy this year? Is he going to be that leader? Um, I don't look at Iggy as a shutdown corner. I think he's a solid corner. He's not a shutdown corner, but what he is he brings that intensity to another level.
Absolutely,
He brings the
100%.
physicality to another level.
Yeah,
If he
he's a
cuts down on
talker.
the penalties, yeah, if he cuts down on the penalties, this is the guy that could be the vocal leader of that defensive backfield. And I'm very excited to see that. Beyond that, obviously Devin Sanchez. All the talk is he's the real deal, man.
Hmm.
And I'm excited to see him get out there and play a little bit. Obviously, we got him, we got Bryce West, we got Aaron Scott, all in that kind of two deep rotation that they're trying to work out. How's Lorenzo Styles Jr. going to look at the slot position? Is he
Yeah,
the slot position when we come
that
out?
if there's one thing about the secondary that I've got questions about that I'm going to keep my eye on, it's going to be who's the nickels and who looks the best at the nickel. So yeah, you're dancing all over it there, Chris.
Yeah. So, I mean, because you could go a million different ways. If Sanchez is a true lockdown corner, do they slide Matthews or Iggy over to the nickel? You know, if we have if we have Hartford and help me out at the other safety. It's right there.
Um, Malik Hartford, and I'm not sure who you're talking about
The kid
here.
he's been competing with for the. See, this is what happens when you teach school all day. Your brain just goes. "Eh."
Me, it's in the morning. Yours, it's in the evening, huh? So are you talking Leroy Roker or
No,
uh, the freshman Fahim Delaney?
Fahim Delaney. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, you know, is he going to step up and be big? Is Hartford going to be the guy?
Oh, Jalen McClain.
Jalen McClain. There you go. That's the
That's
other
who
one I
you're
was
talking
thinking of.
about. Yeah.
Jalen McClain.
Who
Uh,
probably starting in all
it
honesty.
sounds like McClain is looking amazing in spring ball, but at the same time, they talk about how Hartford's coming up and making big plays. This is my biggest concern out of this spring game is, do we lose guys from our 2 and 3 deep because of how good this defensive backfield is?
Hmm. I
Um,
don't. I,
because you're right.
I've heard zero
No, I haven't
buzz
heard anything either.
about the kids jumping in the portal, and the portal closes here pretty soon. So I think they got about a week to make a decision.
Yeah,
So we might lose somebody,
it
but
closes the Sunday after our spring game, I believe.
so the 13th, or are you talking the following week?
No, no, the 20th,
Yeah. Okay.
Easter Sunday, I think it closes.
So yeah, we might lose somebody, but it'll be interesting to find out. All right, you wanted to talk coaches. So
Yeah, for me,
we have a new offensive coordinator in Brian Hartline. We have a new defensive coordinator in Matt Patricia. We've got a new offensive line coach and Coach T.
We
Um,
got an offensive line committee, Eric.
yeah, so that's one way to put it. So what are you thinking with the coaches, Chris?
Um, I'm interested to see, obviously, uh, the new coaches how they're running things. I want to see, and I know we're not going to see a lot. I just want to see how, if any way, Matt Patricia is tweaking anything, or if he's showing any multiple sets at all. Um, does he show us a three linebacker set? Does he show us, you know, variations of the 4-2-5 that maybe we haven't seen before? Um, Obviously, he's not going to show a lot, but anything you put on game film right now is
Yeah.
something that somebody's going to have to worry about down the road. And with your first game being Texas, you might want to throw something out there to put in their mind.
Didn't last year we come out in the T wing and to start the first?
Yeah, we came out in the wing T. Chip had three guys in the wing T in the backfield, man. It was,
Here, take a
and
look. Take a look at this, Big Ten. Um,
I think
yeah,
we actually hit it in one game during the regular season, didn't we?
we
I
did.
think
Yeah,
we
Mhm.
did, yeah.
Yeah, it was in there.
So
So, I'm interested to find out how how Brian Hartline looks. He's going
yeah,
to be out there on the field, on the headset, calling plays with the play sheet. Is Ryan Day going to be beside him? Are they going to be working in tandem? Or is Ryan Day going to be hands off, just maybe walking around signing
sitting
autographs
in
with
his lawn
JJ?
chair, sipping a
Yeah,
margarita,
he's
watching this thing go down.
yeah, he's out there on the sideline throwing the football with RJ to the fans, and just having a good old time. Or I'm joking. Obviously,
You
he's
know
going to be
what? If he
locked in,
did,
but
he deserved that victory lap if he did.
oh yeah, 100%. Uh, but we know Ryan's not going to do that. He's going to be
No.
locked in. But how involved is he going to be with Brian and calling these plays? That's what I'm interested in watching. So,
And
um,
Eric, I'll tell you, you talked about what's Heartline going to look like. This much I know. Looks like he's hit the gym and he's got himself a new sleeve.
hmm,
He got it all tatted up down the arm. Did you see it?
I didn't
I'm
know.
telling you, man.
I
New
did see
Heartline, new intensity.
I did see that the his chair that's got apparently some cigar burns in it. They're raffling off, and he's autographed it. So I
Oh
thought that
yeah.
was yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Um, anyways, that's that. Time to put in some of our predictions here. Um, who's gonna be the first one to catch a touchdown pass?
The easy pick would be Jeremiah Smith, but I don't know. Like you said, I don't know that he's in enough to do it. Um, you know what?
My,
I'm going to throw you off. Max Clare.
oh, that was my pick, you son of a gun! Shoot. Okay, okay, okay. I'll go
I
Cardell
think a
Tate.
running back or a tight end's the way to go. Honestly.
I'll go Cardell Tate.
Okay.
All right. So Tate, I got Tate, you got Claire. All right. Who's
Yeah.
the first to score a rushing touchdown? I'll get to go first this time.
Okay.
Give me the first rushing touchdown. Give me Lincoln Keenholz.
Oh, really? I could see where you're coming from there. And my thought was, I don't think it's going to be Keenholz. I thought quarterback, but then I'm thinking, no. I think that he's going to want to play with these toys he's got on offense. And I don't know that it's going to be Peoples either. So I'm going to throw you off again. Give me CJ Donaldson.
I knew you were gonna. I could. Yeah. I knew you were going with CJ. Okay. First
He
sack.
looks like a beast, man.
First sack. Who you going with?
CJ Hicks.
Okay. Give me Caden Curry. Give me Caden Curry with the first sack. All right. First interception. I'm going Devin Sanchez. He's going to make that hype and he's going to take it through the roof. We're talking JJ Smith level hype for the freshman. He's going to make that happen. Devin Sanchez gets the first interception.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I'm gonna go Jalen McClain.
Okay. MVP of the game, Chris. Who you going with?
I think it's going to be defensive because I think that the defense is going to come out and really show out. Give me, and it won't be a first team guy because they'll be off the field early. No, you know what? I'm gonna take a long shot here, Eric. Bo knows MVP.
Oh, Bo Jackson. Okay,
Because I
okay.
don't think our starting guys are going to spend a lot of time this game. I think it's 2 series and out.
Ready for this one?
Yep.
Taven St. Clair.
If he does, I'm telling you right now, if he does, that is going to set up perhaps a bad precedent for the season.
No, no, because
Because let me tell you, I know our fans, and the first time that either of the two guys in front of them have a bad game, they're going to be like, this guy was the MVP of the spring game. Why isn't he out there?
oh Lord, that'll be few and far between. I don't think you.
Come on, we're the lunatic fringe, Eric. You know.
I don't think we'll have to worry about that. No. Okay. Score prediction: Scarlet versus Gray. Scarlet will probably be the offense. Gray will probably be the defense. And I don't really know how the scoring works in this. Give me 27. Scarlet 27. Gray 29.
That's a good number. So Gray is defense. Give me 30-24 Gray.
Okay, so we both picked defense. All right. Excellent. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Those are our predictions. That is our preview for the spring game, everybody. We will be back Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. We will be actually talking about this spring game. It'll be our spring game review podcast, everybody. You're not going to want to miss that. Um, before we leave, Chris, before we call it a night, give me your headline of the spring game. Write a headline for me coming out of the spring game, heading into the off season. What will the headline read for Ohio State?
Matt Patricia's defense wows the shoe.
Okay. Okay. Um, defense wins in lackluster starting performance, offensive starting performance. So,
See, I'm
uh,
trying to be positive here, Eric. You're taking it right to the negative. We've seen that offensive line give up sacks one too many times, and you're going to go back to that. This is not the same offensive line. It's not going to be a lackluster performance. Will it be great? No. Because it's honestly, it's just harder for the offense to start than it is the defense.
over under on how many hot dogs I eat at the tailgate party.
Whew. 6.
What? No, way under, dude. Way under. I would put the over under at 2.5. I
Two and
might
a
go.
half.
Yeah, I think I
Two and a
went
half before
three.
the game, 2.5 after the game.
No, no, I don't think so.
No, you'll
I
be
don't
chomping
think
down
so.
them donuts. What you gonna get at, aren't you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't know,
My
man. We talked about it earlier. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna grab some eggs. Maybe grab us a little bevo and toss it on the grill.
maybe. We want to thank our sponsors for the tailgate in Second and Seven. We're so thankful to be working with them. We also want to thank our new sponsor, a Place at Home Senior Care. This episode has been brought to you by a Place at Home Senior Care. If your loved one is recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall, or living with dementia and needing support at home, a Place at Home Dublin provides home care supportive services like bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, and medication reminders, all in the comfort of home. Learn more at aplaceathome.com/Dublin. / Chris. We're so thankful for our new sponsors. I actually got to meet them today, take some pictures and everything, and I think this is a great relationship moving forward. Just down the road in Dublin, man, and so thankful to have them on board. If you have a loved one in Central Ohio who needs any assistance or help at all, these people are fantastic. They have a really high rating, and they're fair and they're good people. And that's, to me, if my parent needed some help and I couldn't be there to help them, I would want someone who I trusted to do that, and that's who these people are. And we wouldn't bring them on as a sponsor if we didn't trust them. So, um, if that's you, if you're ever in that situation, by all means, please consider using their services to help you out for your loved one. All right, Chris, we are less than 24 hours away from this. If you're watching this episode, if you're listening to it, I'll probably post it Thursday night, so a little more than 24 hours away if you're listening to it. But the spring game is here, man. Spring game 2025. By all means, swing
National
by the tailgate,
Title
everybody.
Defense.
What?
National Title Defense
Yeah.
begins Saturday.
Or as our friend Mika likes to say, we are building a dynasty, and I like to always reply to her, dynasty loading.
There you
It's
go.
happening, right? It's happening. Enjoy it, everybody. Again, remember, if you can't make it out to the shoe and our tailgate, if you can, swing by the tailgate, please. If you can't, the game will be on at noon on the Big Ten Network, and then make sure you come back here to the OHIO podcast Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, for our live review. And if this is your first time, if you just stumbled on this for some reason, you watch this whole video up to this point, then by all means, smash the subscribe button and ring the bell, because you, my friend, are a part of this lunatic fringe that we are. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, right? And
That's
make a
right.
comment down in the comment section below. We want to hear
Don't
your
forget to ring the
predictions as
bell so
well.
you know when we're back.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH. Sing Carmen Ohio with all your heart. Till next time, Chris, you know what to do. OH!
IO!